NY is brought to you by USAA, insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. By Fidelis Care, quality health coverage, it's our mission. And by New York Community Bank and the NYCB family of banks. Visit them at mynycb.com. Get to Citi Field Saturday night, July 15th. The Mets play the Rockies at 7:10 p.m. After the game, you can enjoy a fireworks show that will light up the Citi Field sky, presented by Verizon. For tickets, visit Mets.com/fireworks. Drive around the majors presented by Audi. Mike Trout out, Mookie Betts in on the American League All-Star starting lineup. The Rockies just keep getting great performances from their rookies. Jeff Hoffman got the win last night, and the Rockies now have 4 rookies with 5 or more wins before the All-Star break. First team ever to do that. And Jeff Locke, who got hit hard by the Mets, got hit harder by the Cardinals last night. 11 runs in 2 2/3 innings. Marlins have now lost 5 of 6. Mets try to get even with the Nats. Earliest start the Mets have had in several decades. Hope you're up, have your coffee, and you're ready to go. First pitch is coming up. Highs and lows on both sides last night, but it was the Nationals who came away with the walk-off win. The Mets' 6th walk-off loss of the season, twice as many as they had all of last year. And so after that body blow, the Mets will try and rebound. Curtis Granderson, a late scratch from the lineup, despite his heroics last night, could not go with the sore hip, and so T.J. Rivera is going to start in the outfield for the first time in his career. The Geico starting lineup, also the second career cleanup appearance for T.J. Rivera, so a lot on his shoulders today. as the Mets face Joe Ross.
Well, you see the Toyota numbers, ERA in the 5s, but his last 3 starts against the Mets, Cincinnati, and Chicago, only 5 earned runs in 19 2/3 innings pitched. Always been a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slider. He's incorporated a changeup the last 3 starts.
Jose Reyes leads off for the 2nd straight day. And the first pitch of the morning is in for a call strike, and we're underway. Jose 2 hits last night. And so he gets his 2nd straight start in the leadoff spot after not leading off for a month and a half. He's got his batting average up to .209 for the year. And he fouls back Ross's fastball, and it's 0-2. That's Dribble Cabrera on deck, and then Jay Bruce for the Mets, as Terry Collins had to pull a quick readjustment of his lineup about 10 minutes ago when Granderson was scratched. Wilmer Flores was not supposed to start. He got inserted, and a bunch of other guys got moved around. Ross ahead 0-2, and Reyes smacks one deep down the right field line, headed back toward the pole, and it goes out of here. A home run for Jose Reyes to lead off the game. Snuck it just inside the foul pole, his 7th home run of the year. And the Mets jump out to a 1-0 lead.
Well, after those 2 big hits last night, he gets a fastball, 3 straight fastballs, this one inside, and he's able to get to it. It was just whether it's going to be fair or foul. Had enough on it, and boy, just about 3-4 feet fair.
And Reyes narrows his margin behind Curtis Granderson for most leadoff home runs in Mets history. It's now Granderson 21, Reyes 20. Now here's Dribble Cabrera taking all the way a call strike.
You know, I said that Ross has been pitching better, but that is his 4th consecutive game giving up a home run, 14 on the year, and 63rd and 1/3 innings pitched.
Well, last time the Mets faced him, Jacob deGrom took him deep, taken outside by Cabrera 1-1. And it's also notable, remember last night Curtis Granderson homered on an 0-2 pitch from Matt Albers, and now Reyes homers on an 0-2 pitch from Joe Ross. 14th home run Ross has allowed this year, and Cabrera takes a slider for a strike, and it's 1-2.
I mean, these pitchers all around baseball, their 0-2 pitch is going to have a purpose. It's going to have a purpose inside, or they're just going to be creamed like that 0-2 pitch was. Don't understand it. Got to wake up. The entire National League baseball, forget about National League pitchers, everyone.
Cabrera pulls one right to Lind, who smothers it and takes it to the bag and gets the out there. And that's the first out of the day.
Well, here's the contact first. Supposed to be a cutter inside. Never got there. And Reyes, isn't it interesting, on 2 strikes you're trying to protect, and just good bat, part of the bat on the ball, and you end up hitting a home run.
Got to be the earliest home run Jose has ever hit. I mean, he's hit a lot of leadoff home runs, but never this early in the day.
Well, who knew? Maybe 11 o'clock is his time.
I mean, he's 34 years old. He played last night, and he comes right back this morning. He certainly is still a bundle of energy. Here's Jay Bruce trying to fight his way out of a slump. He's gone 0 for his last 15, and he takes a strike.
Cabrera didn't run, but it was a 3-1, wasn't it? 3 unassisted?
It was 3 unassisted.
Yeah.
Lynn did not catch the ball in the air, but he got the out by taking it to the bag himself. Cabrera, I think, thought he had caught it in the air. Ball and a strike to Bruce, who was 0 for 4 last night. 20 home runs, tied for 6th in the National League.
Bruce is kind of limping into the break.
By the way, Joe Ross last year made 19 starts, gave up 9 home runs. This is his 12th start. He's already given up 14 home runs. His home run rate has more than doubled this year.
You know, his streak, he had streaks when he came up of facing consecutive batters, like I think 60 without giving up a home run. That has turned completely for him and the rest of the pitchers in baseball.
It makes it a little hard to judge because the home run rate in general is elevated, but few have had the numbers go so haywire as much as Joe Ross has.
That's right.
T.J. Rivera waiting on deck. 1-2 to Bruce, and he launches one deep to right field, right down toward that same pole, and that one goes foul. So just a few feet to the right of where Reyes hit his. This one just ducked away.
You know, it's interesting. Usually in these kind of games, a night game and then a day game like we're having today at 11 a.m., which I've never been involved in, usually the hitting is south for the first 5 innings of the game. Not so far for the Mets.
And Bruce missed by that much. And Jay takes inside 2-2. Well, think about it. Going back to Sunday, the Mets had scored 1 run in 17 innings before Granderson homered in the 9th inning last night. And now Reyes adding a home run in the 1st inning today. And now Ross goes to a full count on Bruce. Joe Ross still just 24 years old. He was the 25th overall pick in the 2011 draft. His mound opponent today, Seth Lugo, was the 1052nd pick in the same draft in 2011.
2 different ways to getting to the same spot.
And Bruce goes down swinging for the 2nd out. So after narrowly missing a home run, Jay's struggles continue.
Well, that's his signature pitch. His slider is his best pitch. You just got to get to that pitch and not be behind. Defensively behind Ross, Coors Light defense. Rayburn gets a start in left. Taylor and Harper center and right respectively. In the infield, lots of changes. Drew at third base. Wilmer Defoe from second base to short. Murph back in there, and Adam Lean spelling Ryan Zimmerman at first base. And Jose Lobaton, the home run hitter against the Mets, behind the plate.
So Dusty Baker using virtually his entire bench as T.J. Rivera takes a strike. 2nd time in T.J.'s career he's hit cleanup. He had 1 game last year where he hit cleanup. That was not the original plan today. He was supposed to bat 5th, but when Granderson was scratched late, T.J. got moved up, and he has been swinging the bat very well.
You know, I was thinking coming into this game that the series, that the Mets had an advantage. You know, Nationals have lost a lot of their key players, but so have the Mets now when you see their lineup today.
Well, the Mets, who had a glut of outfielders not long ago, now find themselves at a deficit. That's lined the other way, and TJ has got a base hit. So he may be a cleanup hitter today, but still hitting like himself. Line drive the other way for a 2-out single.
It really goes to show in today's game with the shifting, if you're a player that can hit the ball from coast to coast, right field to left field, you open up so much more room for yourself to get base hits.
So Rivera aboard with 2 out, and now Lucas Duda. Lucas against Joe Ross, 4 for 6 with 2 home runs. And they put on the full shift against him. Ross about to throw his 20th pitch of this opening inning. Well, the top of the Nationals rotation with Scherzer, Strasburg, and Gio Gonzalez has been spectacular, but Roark and Ross, a whole different story in those 4 and 5 slots.
And the Mets have played better because their guys that got back, Matz and Lugo, have pitched better, made the rotation better.
Well, Matz was great last night. Duda lines one the other way, but right there is Rayburn to pick it off. And that ends the inning. So 3 hard hit balls in the inning, starting with Jose Reyes' 20th career leadoff home run as a Met, 25th of his career overall, getting this morning off to a fast start and giving Seth Lugo a 1-0 lead as he takes the mound in D.C. lineup for Dusty Baker on this holiday. As Wilmer Defoe moves up in the lineup, Lynn gets a start, Rayburn a start, Drew a start, Lobaton a start. Lots of bench guys in there for the Nats. Michael Taylor will lead off. He hit the 2-run homer in the 8th inning last night that opened the scoring, and he grounds this one down to third. Wilmer Flores with the throw across the diamond. Duda stays on the bag, and one pitch provides the first out for Seth Lugo.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Port St. Lucie lineup. Lugo has been outstanding. First to play by Flores, even with the bag, to his backhand, stands up tall and fires a strike. There's the Land Rover numbers for Mr. Lugo. You know, one number I like to look at his entire career in a Mets uniform with runners in scoring position. They're 11 for 63.
175 batting average.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's big league.
Well, especially for a guy who doesn't strike a lot of people out. Wilmer Defoe hitting second in the order, and he lines one right back to Lugo on one hop, and he throws him out.
The New York Mets defense, Lexus defense. Rivera, his first start in the outfield for the Mets. Nimmo and Bruce. And in the infield, Flores is at third base. Came in a late scratch. Grandy, Reyes, Cabrera, and Duda. Rene Rivera behind the plate. And Seth Lugo, will they play 1-3 on a comebacker? They've thrown the ball out of play. That's the first time it's happened this year. There's not a lot of plays by pitchers on comebackers anymore.
Well, 3 pitches, and Lugo's gotten 2 outs. And now Bryce Harper, who was 1 for 3 last night. And he flies one out to left field. Shallow for Reyes. He goes out to get it, and on 4 pitches, Seth Lugo has negotiated a 1-2-3 first inning. That may be the fastest of the year. Well, the Ducks don't know that it's the 4th of July. They're just looking for some food. Hi, guys.
That's cool. Be a little busier in that area tonight.
Yeah, you think? That's why we're playing at 11 o'clock in the morning, to clear the decks for all the celebrations and the fireworks tonight here in D.C. It is a spectacular show every year.
I mean, they have a couple of million people that come to the mall.
Wilmer Flores, a late addition to the lineup. He was going to have the day off. He's been battling a bit of a hamstring issue that's limited his playing time lately. And he dribbles one foul, and it's 0-2. Wilmer's also been struggling with the bat, just 1 for his last 14. Rene Rivera hitting 7th in the order on deck, and then Brandon Nimmo after the Mets hit several balls hard against Joe Ross in the first inning, including Reyes's leadoff home run. And he gets him looking with a slider. Second strikeout for Ross, one down in the second. Well, the Nats won last night. Your Coors Light cold hard facts. They now lead the season series 8-3. And as you can see, pitching has been a huge difference, particularly in the bullpen. Last night was the first time that the Mets really got to the Nats bullpen this year. They've struggled all year against everybody else, but the Nats have done plenty of damage against the Mets bullpen, and that was the case last night as well. Here's Rene Rivera, and he takes a strike.
The collision in the division so far has turned into a demolition derby for the Mets.
It's been a very one-sided collision. Lots of dents on one side and the other side walking away without a scratch. And Rivera went around on the half swing on the slider, and it's 0-2. Well, if you're going to position yourself, you might as well position yourself near the fan on a hot day.
We're kind of lucky that it's overcast here. If it was bright sunshine, it would be some kind of day.
It's going to be warm later. Taken high, and it's 2-2. From our personal perspective, if the sun were out, it would be in our eyes right now.
Right.
Because this ballpark and this booth is not designed for morning games. 2-2 coming, and that sits high. 3-2 to Rivera with Nimmo on deck.
There's a few like that. This one here, Pittsburgh. It's hard to work for a day game before the game. Detroit.
I think Atlanta's like that,
yeah,
too.
Atlanta also.
New ballpark. And Rene takes outside ball 4. So after Ross got ahead of him 0-2, Rivera draws just his 7th walk of the year. First given up by Ross today. He generally doesn't walk many, just 2.1 walks per 9 innings. So the Mets have a 1-out base runner. Now, you must have played morning games in the minors.
Yes.
Or, I know during spring training, but let's put that aside. But games that counted, you pitched in the morning?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, I'm a morning person, so it's not so bad for me. But a lot of these players are used to waking up at noon to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is a little different thing for them. I'm also on a couple of poached eggs, a detox drink, and 22 cups of coffee, so I'm in a little better place.
Well, I can guarantee you that caffeine has been consumed by everybody in that clubhouse. But I wonder for a pitcher, you know, you have the routine the day of a game, how that would get substantially altered pitching so early in the day.
I think what I would do, to me it would be a 4-day process, and if I could, I would try to throw at 11 a.m. my in-between throwing. You hope that maybe there's a day game that day, you can throw on the side at 11 a.m. just when you're going to take the mound 3 days later.
Well, Seth Lugo's had the whole week to get ready for this early start, and boy, it helps when the opposition is swinging at the first pitch in the first inning too. 4 pitches to get him through the bottom of the first. 2-1 to Nimmo. Well, the Nats rotation has been wonderful, at least the top 3 guys. The bullpen, and it really hasn't mattered who, just been miserable.
Well, that's been the issue, is that every single person in that bullpen at some point has given it up.
2-1 to Nimmo, making his 3rd straight start. He lines one toward the left field corner. Over goes Rayburn into foul ground. It's out of play.
We saw Rayburn make an unbelievable play in the first inning at Citi Field in the game that Max Scherzer won, where the Mets might have put up an early run, but he couldn't get to that one.
So Nimmo back to the plate with a 2-2 count. Well, last night the Nats tried to get through the ninth inning with Sammy Solis and Matt Albers, and that didn't work. They've got Sean Kelly on the DL. In fact, they just shut him down. He's got neck problems. Coda Glover's on the DL with back problems. Andy Romero, who has been doing some late work for them, was not available last night. So Dusty tried something different. That's toward the middle, a base hit for Nimmo. Rivera pulls in at second. So Brandon Nimmo has the Mets' third hit, and the Mets have 2 men aboard with 1 out.
Well, Ross has been very methodical getting behind hitters. That's a changeup there that he leaves on the inner part of the plate. Nice hitting by Nimmo. See the grip? He's got that really buried in the back of his hand, so he's trying to take a lot of speed off that pitch, and Nimmo was right on it.
So now Lugo will be asked to bunt. Seth can swing the bat a little bit. 2 for 8 with a pair of doubles. But the bunt here, nicely done. Lobaton will have to go to first with it. 2-4 on the sacrifice, and the Mets have 2 in scoring position. MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. So now Reyes, who put a jolt in this game on the third pitch thrown by Joe Ross. He hit one just inside the right field foul pole. His 7th home run of the year, his 20th leadoff home run as a Met. And he's got 2 in scoring position here with 2 out. Rivera at third, Nimmo at second. And Jose takes a fastball for a strike. Reyes' bat has certainly heated up. 6 hits in his last 13 at bats, with 4 extra base hits over that span. Every time it looks like he is going to be down and out, he has found his way to a mini hot streak, and he hits this one well to center field, but Taylor has it lined up, and he gets it going away to retire the side. Let's get 2 aboard, but leave him stranded in scoring position. Middle of the second, 1-0 New York. Investors Bank, banking in your best interest. When JFK met the great Stan Musial at the '62 All-Star game, he noted their ages, said they both fooled him.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. Daniel Murphy leads off in the home second. Murph did not start last night. Came off the bench as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning and grounded out against Jerry Blevins. Murph will be going to the All-Star game for the 3rd time. And he cracks one to right. Bruce drifting back. Should have room on the warning track. And puts it away for the first out. 6 pitches, 4 outs for Seth Lugo. That's a way to keep yourself around for a while.
Is it me, or is that the first time Murphy's got a pitch to hit and he covered it and it didn't go out of the ballpark?
Against the Mets.
Against the Mets.
You know, I was looking at the numbers today. Murph spent 7 years with the Mets. His on base plus slugging OPS as a Met was .755. His OPS as a National is .975.
I was going to say 950 plus.
220 points higher. I mean, he has remade himself as one of the best hitters in the game.
He's from that area. Man, he's dropping a little Ponce de Leon on us.
It's 32 going on 13. Grounded down to first. Judah handles Adam Lynn's ground ball, and again a quick out for Lugo. That's 8 pitches, 5 outs. I mean, that's really hard to do.
Well, I'm just thinking we might have to go to the record books here in a second.
Well, you know what they call a complete game with under 100 pitches. They call it a Maddox. Right now he's heading for a complete game under 70 pitches. Well, the Nats have come out swinging, and whether it's because of the early hour or because they figure Lugo is going to be around the plate, this may not last. Here's Ryan Rayburn with 2 out.
To let you folks know, when the Mets used to train at Miller Huggins Field, the Cardinals would come over for 10 o'clock games. You'd pitch 5 innings in about 30 minutes because everyone was swinging and just wanted to get it over with. I'm not saying the Nationals are doing that, but that happens on these kind of happens on regular day games. Now this is 2 hours earlier.
So now Lugo falls behind 2-0 on Rayburn. So this will be his first 3-pitch at bat. Rayburn had the game-winning hit last night. He came off the bench in the 8th inning and drew a walk in front of Michael Taylor's home run. And then after a couple of walks in the 9th, delivered a hit that fell in front of Cespedes for the game winner. The Rockettes are here.
I thought they stayed mostly on 6th Avenue.
Well, they like to get out from time to time. You know, you've got to stretch your legs somewhere else occasionally. (3-1) from Lugo, and Rayburn takes a walk. So the Nats have their first base runner. So Rayburn's had 3 plate appearances in this series and reached all 3. And now Stephen Drew. Well, we have special baseballs for July 4th with the blue and red seams. Don't know how flat those seams are, but I do know that that's starting to become something of a public issue now. With Stephen Drew taking a strike, Marcus Stroman had to leave his start for the Blue Jays last night with a blister in the 5th inning and started taking note publicly of the baseballs and the seams and all the blisters around baseball this year.
Yeah, Scherzer has done it here also. So not publicly yet for Max, but his words will carry a lot of weight when he does say something about it.
Well, I've heard a number of pitchers privately talk about how the seams are flatter, so they have to get more torque on their curveballs, which is leading to more blisters.
Yeah, guys that have never had blisters their entire career are getting them.
And the curveball from Lugo knocked down by Rivera, and that keeps Rayburn at first. Well, it's all part of the conversation about the baseball.
Yeah.
And everybody says it's wrapped a little tighter and the seams are flatter, and you know, whether baseball did it intentionally or not, there's collateral damage involved.
You know, there's a thing in golf, Gary, to the clubs. It's called a boomerang effect, and I think the ball combined with a boomerang effect of new bats have produced a nice offensive game.
Drew flies one into shallow center. Nimmo comes on to get it, and that retires the side. That's get their first base runner, but Lugo works around it as we take a look at the Kennedy Center. 1-0 Mets. Steve Gelb's Inside Baseball. His report today brought to you by Volkswagen. Steve?
Well, Gary, you guys were speaking about Marcus Stroman's comments in that last half inning and how the baseballs may be altered this season, causing more blisters across Major League Baseball. We've seen it with 3 of the Mets starting pitchers this year, Noah Syndergaard, Zach Wheeler, and Jacob deGrom, all having to exit starts because of a blister or a callus issue. Now, I checked in with Syndergaard and deGrom on the subject. Syndergaard said for him, it's tough to really judge because he's had these issues dating all the way back to 2011 at various times. But it was interesting talking to Jacob deGrom, who acknowledged that he has never had a callus rip off the way that it did earlier this season for him, and that even right now, when he's just playing catch on his right ring finger, he has this constant pain that he never had in the past.
Well, there you go.
Well, Ronnie, maybe you can expand on how the way the seams sit on the baseball might affect a pitcher getting a blister where he might not have before.
Well, it almost sounds counterintuitive, but when you have a baseball that has high seams, you can get your fingers inside the seam. You build the callus in one spot, and you're never going to have a problem all year. When you have a ball that has low seams or not raised seams, then that entire flatness of that seam will cover your whole hand or your entire finger. So instead of having a seam, listen, I throw a curveball for many years. I got a scar right here. I've had it for 30, 35 years. But that scar is so great. Instead of having one place, now it's all around your thumb or other fingers. And that's really the issue for these pitchers, is that you could always isolate it one spot. Now you have your entire hand is compromised.
And what I've heard from pitchers also is that the inside of their ring finger from throwing curveballs, because they have to grip it a little more tightly to be able to get the torque on their curve. The place where they never used to get blisters before, now they're getting a blister there. There's ball four to Cabrera.
Show you a curveball with this two-seam grip. Okay, so I'm pulling down with this finger and pushing with this thumb. Okay, that's where I developed the callus here, and I used to have a callus here on the inside of that seam. What you have now, if you don't have a raised seam, is that entire seam plays on not the outside, not only the outside, the bottom, and in the inside of. So now you're compromised on the entire finger, and the ring finger, which pushes up against the side, hits this low part also. So you now have two fingers involved, and not a good thing.
Let's get a leadoff base runner on a walk to Cabrera, and now Jay Bruce, who struck out his first time up. And Ross misses inside to him.
Ron, let me ask you this, though, because we have heard a lot of pitchers, as Gary alluded to, talking about the seams being different. But DeGrom actually said he hasn't really noticed it in the seams, and he's not trying to grip the ball tighter. But for him, if the ball itself is a little harder and packed a little tighter, he feels like it doesn't necessarily have the same give, and that potentially could be contributing. Is that something that makes sense to you as well?
Yeah, it definitely does. Now, when you had a baseball in my day, it's not like you could squeeze it and it had any give, but it certainly doesn't feel like the cue ball that they've got to throw up there today.
So you're saying in terms of the cover of the ball, you could manipulate it a little more? You
could manipulate it, and you could feel the leather. You know, when you touch a ball today, you don't feel the leather. You feel like you're throwing a rock. That's what it feels like.
Bruce goes after the changeup, and it's 1-2.
And I think also the one thing about the game that's changed from my day is that you'd use a ball for 4, 5, 6 batters. So you would have a ball that was darker and had some mud on it, and it would give you, a little feeling of less abrasion, as opposed to today. Every ball is new because they're thrown out of play all the time.
1-2 coming, and foul back. Now the umpires still rub up the balls with the mud before.
They don't, though, do they? I think it's the kids in the clubhouse that do, but someone's rubbing.
But somebody's putting the. But that's only to take the shine off. That doesn't do anything for the texture of the ball.
Each umpire in my day, I could tell who was umpiring behind the plate by taking a look at the baseball, because they all rubbed it differently. Some made the balls really dark, and some, let's say, didn't put as much effort into it as other umpires. And now they're rubbed up by the kids, and it's not to make the balls dark. It's really just to take any kind of light shine off it. They probably spend 15 seconds on each one and let it go. It used to be umpires would rub it, like an hour and a half before the game they would take. It's like a lost art.
1-2 to Bruce with T.J. Rivera on deck. Long hold by Ross. And Bruce hooks one to right. Harper coming on, reaching down. He makes a spectacular catch. That's a great play by Bryce Harper. Took it right off the top of the grass.
He got a late jump, but he made up for it with his speed, and he's become a really strong outfielder. This is a kid that was a catcher for much of his amateur life. When he first came into right field, you could see that he was very aggressive, but not a good outfielder. And he's turned himself, even with the ball almost coming out, into a good outfielder.
Right now, Jay Bruce just can't buy one. He hit one about 2 feet foul. That was nearly a home run his first time up. Now, a great play by Harper, and Bruce is now 0 for his last 17. So 1 out and 1 on. Here's TJ, who hit one to right field for a base hit his first time up. TJ off balance on that fastball away, 0-1.
We've seen that with TJ. I would say 80% of the time he's beautifully balanced, but occasionally he'll go to one knee on that breaking ball.
TJ with his base hit his first time up, now 4 for 6 in his career against Joe Ross. And he lines that one up the middle for a base hit. Cabrera pulls in at second, and so TJ is 2 for 2.
This ball slowed a little bit off the leather of Ross, but still hit too hard. Ball's supposed to be in. It's middle, and Rivera right now is not missing those pitches.
So he's liking being a cleanup hitter playing left field today. A different thing for him, but he's hit everywhere he's been, so that's nothing new. I mean, when you're an undrafted free agent, you have to fight your way up at every level, and the way to do that is to hit, and TJ has always hit. Now Lucas Duda with 2 aboard. Lucas hit one hard to left field his first time up, and Rayburn was able to snag it. Lucas now 0 for his last 9. Mets got one of their earliest runs in their history when Jose Reyes led off the game with a home run at 11:07 a.m. Not the earliest start in Mets history, though, because research has confirmed that the Mets played several games back in the 60s at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh that started at 10:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Including a July 4th doubleheader in 1969. 10:30.
I'm just thinking if you were on the night shift at the.
And Duda's down on strikes for the second out.
Good slider there from Ross. That's probably the best one he's thrown so far. This is his wipeout pitch when he has it working. I was just thinking that in Pittsburgh, you know, with all the steel mills, if you had the overnight shift, you get out at 7:30.
Right to the ballpark.
There you go. A little breakfast in the ballpark.
So 2 out and 2 on. Now Flores. And of all the players preparing for the game today, Wilmer probably had the roughest go of all of them, because he wasn't in the lineup until 10 minutes before the game. So he wasn't probably pounding the caffeine the same way the starters were.
But do you think he had to have a feeling? Because if I'm a coach and I know Granderson's going to go out and throw and run a little bit, you have to have one of the coaches come up to you and say, hey, you know, stay alive.
Right. Or wake up.
Yeah, wake up.
And he grounds one down to third. Drew gets the force. That ends the inning. So Ross able to work around trouble in the top of the third. On this 4th of July, Mets still with a 1-0 lead. Top high school ballers as NYN Overtime team up to bring you the best New York City hoops highlights all summer long. Check it out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Is that your Seton Hall voice? Ballers? Is that what you use in the winter? I would say no.
I don't think I've ever used that expression ever in my entire life until I read that promo for the first time.
I was figuring such.
Jose Lobaton leads off the last of the third. Lobaton drives one into right field, and of course he has a leadoff hit. Lobaton, who doesn't hit against anybody else, hits against the Mets.
Maybe
2 home runs this year, both against the Mets, and he's now 3 for 3 with a home run against Seth Lugo.
Maybe just the catcher's position. He's replaced Ramos, who left for Tampa Bay.
I mean, he's hitting 135 coming into the day, but put a Mets uniform on the guy on the mound, and he turns into Johnny Bench.
Horses for courses, right?
Joe Ross is a pretty good hitter, also a pretty good bunter. 5 hits, 3 sacrifices this year. Flores well in on the grass at third. And Ross gets dusted off. Ball 1.
It's the second pitcher we've seen in the last week. First pitch right up and in. Here's a high-speed pitch.
It's a little early in the morning for casino sounds, right?
Unless you're a degenerate.
Well, they stay open 24 hours. I've seen those buses, Ken, for the casino at 5 a.m.
That's right.
And Ross takes a cut and fouls it back. 1-1. And no guarantee that Ross will be bunting.
He's used as a pinch runner by Dusty Baker. He's used as a pinch hitter. Fantastic athlete out of Berkeley. His older brother pitches for the Texas Rangers.
Nice to see his older brother Tyson back in pitching after thoracic outlet surgery. Knocked him out for a year. Flores still thinks he's going to bunt, and Ross takes another cut, leaving Wilmer fearing for his life 60 feet away at third base. Well, if he was swinging on 1-0 and 1-1, for sure he's going to be swinging on 1-2.
I bet she's bunting. A lot of signs here from Henley, and we saw Defoe try to bunt with 2 strikes last night. Let's see.
And he takes just on the outside corner. Strike 3 call. First strikeout of the day for Lugo.
There's been a couple of umpires, Gary, that are trying to replace Tim McClellan for you here with the later call. There they are.
Carlos Torres, the balls and strikes today. The young umpire John Lipka, we saw for the first time yesterday. Danny DeMuth and Paul Nart. So 1 out and 1 on. Second time around the batting order. Michael Taylor, who grounded out to third base on the first pitch Lugo threw today.
Umpires in the news more than usual today because of the Angel Hernandez racial discrimination suit.
That was a bit of a shocker, especially as Angel continues to work as a major league umpire. Taylor bounces one foul, 1-1. Taylor's home run last night was his 12th of the year. He has done a terrific job filling in for the injured Adam Eaton, who went down with a season-ending knee injury in late April. And he lays down a bunt. No choice but to let it roll. And it's a bunt hit for Taylor. And why Flores didn't let it roll further, I'm not sure. Might as well let it keep going, see if maybe it takes a left turn.
Well, it had some speed on it. Was it going to go foul? Probably not. But you always just let that roll in case, because it can always hit something and take a right turn as you're watching. Now, it probably wasn't going to go foul, but always let it go.
So Taylor showing his bunting ability. Gets himself a hit. And now 2 aboard for Wilmer Difo. Difo hit a comebacker his first time up. Played second base last night, playing shortstop today. And he drives one to center field. Back goes Nimmo to the edge of the track to reel it in. And the runners get back. Defoe's showing off about as much power as he has, driving that ball almost 400 feet for a long second out.
Well, watching Nimmo in center field for the last 3 days, that was the best jump he got on the baseball. As soon as that was hit by Defoe, he was playing shallow. He had to get on his horse, and he did. Made that tough play look easy.
There's been a lot of conversation within the Mets organization about whether Nimmo is a center fielder or not, and there are differing opinions within the organization about that. Right now, the Mets have no choice. They don't. I mean, they're so short of outfielders, a position that they were so deep in not all that long ago. There's Bryce Harper with 2 out and 2 on. Popped up his first time up.
We spent the first third of the year listening to people ask Terry Collins how he's going to rotate all of his outfielders. We haven't heard that question in quite a while.
Bryce Harper going to his 5th All-Star game at age 24. Starts the day 3rd in the National League in on-base percentage and 4th in slugging percentage. And he grounds one foul, 0-2.
You know, we always think about young pianists or cello players or prodigies that started at a young age. Bryce Harper was groomed to be a ball player from a tender age. It's like two-faced with the blue and the red cleats and gloves.
Poked in the air, shallow center. Reyes out over the shoulder, can't make the catch, and that'll bring in a run. Lobaton scores. Taylor winds up at 3rd on the bloop single by Bryce Harper that ties the game at 1.
Lobaton's leadoff hit puts the Nats in position. Kind of a lucky hit by Harper. Had him out front. Only person that could make that play was Reyes. He got real close to it, but not far enough.
So 3 hits in the inning, including a bunt and a bloop, produced a run for Washington, and now a dangerous spot for Lugo as he takes on Daniel Murphy.
Well, there's a lot of BBs that he hits that drop in, and Lugo disappointed in the result.
So the mismatched shoes apparently worked for Bryce Harper. Here's Murph, who hit one to the warning track in right field his first time up that Bruce caught. And the curveball outside for ball 1. Those are the lifetime numbers for Murphy against the Mets. Last night was the first time that Murph had ever played against the Mets and didn't reach base. Was it 29 straight games he had reached?
Only had one chance last night.
Well, still counts. He lines this one at left center field. That's a base hit, and that'll bring in the go-ahead run. Taylor scores. Harper to 3rd. Daniel Murphy an RBI single. 2-1 Washington.
Well, the Nats have woken up. Murph used to get hits with the Mets to left field, but not the way he drives the ball now. Harper, easy for him to go 1st to 3rd. With 2 outs, the play for the center fielder is to throw the ball to second base, keep the force in line.
So 4 hits in the inning against Lugo have produced 2 runs. And now Adam Lind, who grounded out his first time up. Dusty Baker put a lot of veteran reserves into this morning lineup. Lind and Rayburn and Drew and Lobaton, all 32 or older.
Usually you go the other way, right? With the young players.
Yep. And now Lugo behind on Lind, 2-0. Lind had his best year in Toronto in 2009. He hit .305 with 35 home runs and 114 runs batted in. He's having a good year off the bench this year for Washington. And he takes a strike. I mean, he had .239 last year in Seattle. He's hitting .320 this year.
What year is that? 2005?
2009.
2009.
He whacks this one to left. Over in the gap goes Rivera, and he runs it down. T.J. Rivera getting his first ever big league start in the outfield, and makes a nice play to prevent further damage against Lugo. Bryce Harper with a bloop gets the first run home for the Nats, and Daniel Murphy drives in the second. 2-1 Washington after 3. Not baseball related. Can you name the first 5 presidents?
Okay, got that one, but I know you definitely have that one. You're great at that.
I think I can give you all 45.
Yeah, I know you can.
Here's Rene Rivera, and he hits the first pitch in the air to center field, chasing Taylor back to the warning track near the wall. It's out of here. Rene Rivera ties the game with his 6th home run of the year. That ball just kept on carrying and carrying. And Rivera gives the Mets their 2nd solo home run of the day, and it gets them even 2-2. That was presidential.
Well, another opposite field home run. Slider, middle of the plate. Lifted in the air on this humid day.
I don't know if Taylor didn't see it or it just carried so well, but his first reaction was that was going to be a routine play.
Probably was a routine play.
Man.
Not with the ball today.
Carried far over the fence in right center. Here's Nimmo, and he takes ball 1. Nimmo had a base hit to center field his first time up.
It's a side swing from Rivera. And you know, we've seen him do this a couple times this year. His power, he could always get a base hit to right field or right center, but his power to that way. And that's the best example of a hitter to me who has spent most of his career trying to get base hits to right field because he hasn't been a high average hitter. That follow through was to hit a ball as high as he could in the air as far as he could. That's exactly what it was. So different than the Rivera we saw the past couple of seasons.
Well, we've seen it with so many hitters now. Their primary goal is to hit the ball in the air and let it carry. And it's carrying. 2-2 to Nimmo with Lugo on deck. .410 feet on that home run by Rene to the opposite field.
Like it's nothing.
Two coming, and Nimmo takes inside. Boy, his plate discipline is really good. His knowledge of the strike zone.
Well, Terry was talking about that when the pitcher's throwing aside, he goes out there and tracks. What does that mean? He stands in the box and watches as each pitch goes by, as guys are working on things in between starts.
Ross has walked 2 today. He struck out 3. And Nimmo lines another base hit. So Brandon is 2 for 2. And the Mets with 2 straight hits to start this 4th inning. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Verizon. Current Verizon Wireless or Fios customers go to sny.tv/Verizon all season long for access to unique Tuesday night baseball experiences. Lugo successfully sacrificed his first time up. He'll try to do it again. And he takes a strike. Drew not being very aggressive charging at third. It's not really his position. Push toward first, grabbed by Lind, and back to first goes Nimmo. So Lugo unable to get it down, lining it right to the first baseman.
Lugo, who's usually a very good bunter for the Mets, kind of jabbed at that one. And when you jab at it, you put a little more behind the ball, and that's why it was a kind of a liner to first base. Watch him jab at it. And when you push that top hand, it puts a little more on the ball.
So 1 out and 1 out. Here's Reyes, who got the morning started with a home run. By the way, it's afternoon now. We can now say afternoon.
Very nice.
It's a little more comfortable. Say is 1 for 2, and he takes a strike. Final game of this series tomorrow night. Jacob deGrom, who has turned in 4 brilliant starts in a row, goes for another against the struggling Tanner Roark. 6 o'clock the coverage tomorrow night. Your City Probables.
Watch deGrom this morning at 9 o'clock doing his sprints to get ready for tomorrow.
Mets will hope to light up Roark tomorrow. Taken inside 1-1.
Matt's 7th shutout innings last night. Boy, that was fun to watch. Both those pitchers, Strasburg and Matz, were spot on.
Matz has now thrown 17 straight scoreless innings. Fastball away to Reyes. So with deGrom at the top of the rotation and Matz pitching brilliantly now since his return, Mets starting pitching is starting to fall into place a little bit.
It's a good time for Nimmo to run. Leadoff hitter Reyes up to get something going. Very rarely do the Mets have anything resembling speed on the bases and at the plate. Let's be aggressive, have some fun.
Reyes pops one up. Murphy across the line, has room, 2 out. So 2 away. Nimmo still at first, and now it's Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera's grounded out to first and drawn a walk, 0 for 1. Mets 2 runs, 6 hits. The Nationals 2 runs, 4 hits. All 4 of the Nationals hits coming in the third to produce 2 runs. Mets have had the bases littered with runners in every inning against Joe Ross, but their only scoring has come on 2 solo home runs by Reyes and Rene Rivera. Cabrera, who came raging hot off the disabled list, now hitless in his last 7 at bats. I was honestly a little bit surprised to see his name in the lineup this morning.
He wasn't running very well at the end of last night's game.
And not generally a big fan of day games anyway. I thought maybe Matt Reynolds would get a start, but with Cespedes and Granderson already out, I think Cabrera felt as though he had to play today. Give the Mets another veteran bat in the lineup. If you were not with us at the start, Cespedes, a hamstring cramp, trying to make that last play last night, could play today, said he was ready to go, but Terry Collins felt as though the better part of discretion was to keep him out today. And then Granderson was in the lineup after his pinch hit home run last night, but the sore hip caused him to be scratched right before game time.
Well, this is the play we're talking about. Coming in and traps that ball against his foot and side of leg and jumped up in pain.
So that right hamstring cramped up. That's not the hamstring that he had trouble with earlier this year. It's the other one. He's been trying to do a much better job of hydrating since he came back from the disabled list. But he clearly is prone to those leg muscle injuries, whether the quad or the hamstring. And it is going to be an ongoing project for the Mets to try and figure out how to keep those from recurring. You just can't have your best hitter compromised week after week. As it is, Cespedes has been struggling at the plate anyway. But the Mets desperately need his bat in the lineup on a regular basis. Two to Cabrera, but first time asked for. And Ross a little annoyed at home plate umpire Carlos Torres for granting the time late. Nimmo back. So he had 5 outfielders for 3 spots. Lagares on the DL, Conforto on the DL, Granderson, Cespedes unavailable today. That leaves 1. Jay Bruce. Nimmo filling in center, and T.J. Rivera, who's never started a game in the outfield in his major league career, playing left field today. There goes Nimmo, and it's pulled foul, and that one pulled right into the dugout. Almost got Mike Maddox.
Yeah, it was moving so fast. I think it did catch Mike Maddox. See, what happens with the coaches is that they want to stand up and watch their pitcher and get a full feel for everything, but they forget that they're not 25 anymore, and they think they can move as quick as they used to, but they can't. Even if you get hit with that, you got to shake it off. Well, you know you
can't rub.
No.
Nimmo was going on the last pitch. Not this time, and Cabrera lofts one to left. Over comes Rayburn, and that retires the side. But the Mets get even. Rene Rivera hitting the first pitch in the top of the fourth. 410 feet to right center field. It's not a misprint. 6 home runs now for Rivera, and a 2-2 game on the 4th of July in D.C. For the dog to swim. The mall is great for lots of activities.
That's right.
Ryan Rayburn leading off in the home 4th inning in a 2-2 game. Rayburn walked his first time up. Seth Lugo, after a rough third, goes back out for the bottom of the 4th and quickly gets ahead on Lugo with a slider, and it's 0-2. Rayburn on base all 3 times in this series. Stephen Drew on deck, then Jose Lobaton in the 4th. And the curveball bounces in, 1-2.
Tried to RPM him right there.
Spin rate?
Yeah.
How can you tell his high spin rate curve from his not quite so high spin rate curve?
I bet you that was a high spin rate curve.
Got him looking at a fastball. 95 miles an hour on the black from Lugo, and he's got his second strikeout of the day. That's the other thing about Lugo, you know, he really varies the speed on his fastball.
Yeah.
Every once in a while he'll reach back to that 95, 96.
He adds and subtracts. It's something that used to be very, very common before the full metal jacket way of pitching now.
Here's Stephen Drew flying to center his first time up.
Is that a pitcher's having too much time on their hands moment? Yeah.
It's always the pitchers.
Yeah, it is.
Smacked into right center, a base hit for Drew, and that'll go all the way back to the wall. And Drew pulls into second base with a 1-out double.
Well, I remember when Stephen Drew first came up with the Arizona Diamondbacks, I really thought he was going to be a real big star in this league. Had some early injuries with the Diamondbacks, now has shuffled around. World champ in 2013 with the Red Sox. But what a baseball family. All #1 picks, right? Tim Drew first, J.D. Drew second, and Stephen third.
Well, now the Met killer, Jose Lobaton. I mean, he's only had 12 at-bats against the Mets this year, but 2 of them have been home runs. 4 of them have been hits. He's got 4 hits against the Mets and 2 home runs. He has 7 hits against the rest of the world with no home runs. Sitting 111 against everybody else and 333 against the Mets. And a base hit his first time up today to get the 2-run third inning started for the Nats. Lobaton, a career backup, now 32 years old. Lifetime .219 hitter. Five hits now for the Nationals, and Lobaton takes Sloan away. 2-0. Lugo beat the Marlins in Miami in his last start.
It's the first time he has pitched on this mound.
Lugo today is trying to do something no Mets starting pitcher has ever done, and that is win 7 consecutive road starts. Tom Seaver twice won 6 straight. Jerry Koosman twice won 6 straight, and now Lugo has won 6 straight road starts, dating back to last year. He's behind on Lobaton 3-0 with the pitcher on deck, and there's a strike. Lobaton casting fear into the hearts of Met pitchers now. Now they're not even throwing him strikes. Lost his first road start of his career last year in San Francisco and has won every one since. And now he and Rivera need a conversation. Sunday, July 16th is a McDonald's Family Sunday. The Mets take on the Rockies at 1:10 p.m. The first 15,000 fans in attendance will receive a Mets mini bat presented by Papa John's. Plus, all kids 12 and under can run the bases after the game in the Mr. Met Dash, courtesy of Northwell Health. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Family Sundays. 3-1 coming, and Lobaton is on with a walk. They just can't get him out.
They went with the changeup there against Lobaton.
Second walk given up by Lugo, and that'll get Joe Ross to the plate.
Got to bunt here because you got to protect yourself against the double play grounder from a pitcher. So bunt, get 2 guys in scoring position, take your chances.
Well, first time up, Ross was asked to bunt on the first pitch and then turned loose after that, wound up striking out. Now he's got Drew at second and Lobaton at first with 1 out, and he's ready to swing, and he takes a strike. Takes a look down at Bob Henley, the third base coach, to see if he is still entitled to swing. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike, and now it's 0-2.
I don't get it. I mean, he is a good athlete. He's not that good of a hitter.
Michael Taylor, the on deck batter. Well, he's taken a fastball and a curveball, and now he swings at the curve and fouls it off. Ross came into the day a lifetime 188 hitter, which is pretty good for a pitcher.
It's really good. And I just said, as soon as I said he's not that good of a hitter, of course he's going to prove me wrong right here. I just like my chances with second and third and Michael Taylor up. That's why I thought of the bunt.
And Ross lays off. 1-2. Drew on second, he doubled. Lobaton at first, he walked. And Lugo and Rivera again having trouble getting together on the signs. And Ross goes down swinging for the second out. So the second time Lugo has struck out Ross, his third strikeout of the day. And now Taylor with 2 out and 2 on. Taylor laid down a bunt single in the third and came home to score the second Nationals run. Second straight inning of heavy lifting for Seth Lugo, who gave up 4 hits and 2 runs in the third, a double and a walk here in the fourth, and now a big out to get to try and keep this game tied. And Taylor takes inside for ball 1. No days off for the horses. Might be a double card.
Oh, yeah, we have more sound effects on this show.
Well, most baseball games, you don't get the variety of sounds. But here I think the feeling is that we need some enhancement, you and I.
Enhancements for you and I, but our broadcast. Yeah.
Well, they can only listen to us for so long.
Exactly.
1-1 to Taylor. Pickoff try, and Drew got the hand back in. Nice effort with Cabrera dashing to the bag.
Someone put that play on, very nicely executed by the Mets. Really not a daylight play when the second baseman comes over, but it's a timing play.
One to Taylor, and the fastball for a strike. 1-2. So when you say a timing play, how does it start?
Well, it used to be, they didn't do it there. It used to be they put it on. You'd look into the catcher, and the catcher would drop his glove. When he dropped his glove, he turned and threw. But they did not do it that way. It was more a play between Lugo and Cabrera.
Just a feel thing.
Yeah.
And Rivera needs another conversation with Lugo. This has been an ongoing saga this inning.
Well, Lugo's got a lot of choices as far as pitches are concerned that he can throw for strikes. And I think Rivera is one of those take charge kind of guys, and he knows the game plan. He knows what Taylor has done. Taylor certainly hurt the Mets, and so that's where the battle ensues.
One-two coming. A little dribbler. Lugo off the mound. The desperation throw, and he gets him. He barehanded and threw it in one motion. Duda picked it out, and they get Taylor to end the inning. It was quite a play by Lugo. Keeps the game tied at 2. tied at 2. Seth Lugo making a nice play on Michael Taylor's comebacker. Really rushed this throw, though.
He did. He just picked it up and fired it, and as the nice play was made by Duda on the other end. He had more time to stand up and kind of fire a 95-mile-an-hour strike over there, but chose this method and picked up by his first baseman.
Well, he made a good play, but that's the kind of ball that often winds up rattling around in foul territory down the right field line. So now Jay Bruce trying to fight his way out of a slump, robbed of a hit on a sliding play by Bryce Harper's last time up. Jay is now 0 for his last 17. This is now his longest 0 for as a Met. And he drives this one to right field, but Harper's got a play going back onto the warning track to get it. And a step from the wall reels it in for the first down.
That ball carried too. That ball was off the end of the bat, maybe a broken bat, and it carried almost to the wall. Or it did carry to the wall.
Well, Ross knows the feeling. He's given up 2 home runs today and 15 this year after giving up only 9 all of last year. But that one stays in the yard. Game stays tied, and now T.J. Rivera in his first game this year as a cleanup hitter is 2 for 2. Single to right, single to center. Ross is not a guy they push to high pitch counts. His high this year is 103. They pulled him after 92 in his last start against the Cubs. And here he is with 1 out of the 5th, already at 77. Lucas Duda on deck. And TJ pops one up. Lynn might have a play. Right to the railing to get it. 2 out. Let's answer our Verizon trivia question. First 5 presidents: Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe.
There you go.
Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler. You know how it goes. Here's Duda. We snuck Harrison in there all 30 days.
That's right.
Duda's lined out to left and struck out 0 for 2. And he bounces one foul. So Ross with a chance for his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Mets have already left 6 runners on base through the first 4 innings. There are only runs coming on a pair of solo home runs. Reyes leading off the game. Rene leading off the 4th. And Duda hits one into the shift. Murphy, though, can't flag it down. And Duda is aboard. It should be a base hit for Duda, and it is. And the Mets have their 7th hit against Ross.
Murph with an expletive, but that one was hit right on the nose by Duda to his right. It's about as deep as you can get, but it beats him anyway.
So a 2-out base runner, and now Wilmer Flores. Duda snapped an 0 for 10 with that base hit. Wilmer's 0 for 2 today. And he hits it hard, foul. You know, we usually say that the guy who is the late addition to the lineup usually does something big. So Wilmer is on the clock.
So Wilmer's your pick to click. Is that what you're saying? Because
Well,
his first 2 at bats have maybe he's got the right amount of coffee in him now.
Well, I gave you the bobblehead pick to click the other day.
Oh boy, did you?
With Cabrera.
You set that up.
Sometimes those things actually work out. Fastball strike to Flores, and it's 0-2.
Not only did you set it up, I had no idea that you're supposed to play well on your bobblehead day. I know when we had a bobblehead day, you, I, and Keith, all 3 of us had a bad game that day. So I mean, you know, I just didn't know that was a thing.
You didn't have a bobblehead as a player, did you?
No, they didn't have bobbleheads then.
Just GQ covers. Here's the 0-2 off the plate. Rene Rivera, who homered his last time up, would be next. And Wilmer takes the fastball high, and it's 2-2. Tries to lay off and stops it in time. Full count. Lynn's going to play behind Duda, who will get set to run with 3-2 and 2 out. And Wilmer takes outside ball 4. So a rare walk for Flores, and the Mets have 2 men on. Third walk given up by Ross.
He said his walks are usually around 2 every 9 innings, so those are out of sorts for Ross to go along with the home runs allowed this season.
Well, I mean, for Ross, who's a low walk pitcher, to walk Flores, who's a low walk hitter, it's only the 10th walk of the season for Wilmer, is a little unusual.
Cabrera walked too. He doesn't walk a lot.
Right. So now Rene Rivera, who also doesn't walk very much, he's already drawn a walk.
I was thinking that the 3 players in the lineup who don't walk have walked against Ross.
I mean, Rene, that walk he drew in the second inning was only his 7th of the year. His home run was his 6th of the season. He drove it over the fence in right center to tie this game. Now looking to untie it an inning later. Duda at second, Flores at first with 2 out. Rene's already had a 2 home run game this year.
Well, he's letting it fly, isn't he?
Checking out his hand after that last cut.
I don't know. It's because of the body armor or because of how the game has changed and it's more gentlemanly now, or country club like, or, you know, with the kind of swings I saw when you guys were on the West Coast, swing there by Rivera, there's usually an answer by pitchers, but for some reason they have not decided to answer. And I'm talking about, you know, making the hitters a little more uncomfortable so they can't just flat out swing as hard as they can.
Well, is there anybody in the game today who still has that ethic?
There's not many. I mean, the real good pitchers who used to be like that don't have to be, because the strikeouts are so high, so they just dominate lineups. But look at a guy like Kershaw. He's even affected by the home run ball this year. One of the greatest of the greats.
Ross ahead 0-2 on Rivera. And Rene takes strike 3 called, inning over. And Rene not happy at all with Carlos Torres' 3rd strike call. 4th strikeout of the day for Ross. The Mets have now left 8 runners on base. Halfway through. 5th on the 4th of July. Wilmer Defoe leads off for the Nats. It'll be Defoe, then Bryce Harper and Daniel Murphy. So challenging inning for Seth Lugo, who has struggled through the last 2 innings after sailing through the first 2. And the curveball at the feet of Defoe, and it's 2-0. Lugo threw 17 pitches combined in the first 2 innings, 40 in the last 2 innings. Defoe hit one almost to the warning track in left center his last time up. And he hits that one sharply through the middle for a base hit. So Defoe gets on the slider and has the 6th hit against Lugo.
Well, 2-0 fastball away. Defoe jumps all over it, and now the Nationals have the Thunder coming up.
Defoe good speed at first, and now Harper, who was not thunderous his last time up, but blooped one just beyond the reach of Reyes that fell into center field for an RBI hit. That brought in the first Nationals run. Daniel Murphy, who drove in the second, is on deck. Lugo has not given up a stolen base this year through his first 4 starts plus. Defoe has stolen 2 bases in 3 tries. And Harper lays off, ball 1. And again, Lugo falls behind 2-0. Nationals were so aggressive at the early stages of this game, and now they're being more patient in their approach, and Lugo having trouble filling the strike zone as much as he did earlier. And now he's behind 2-0 to Bryce Harper. Two and 1. Harper, one of 5 Nationals who will be going to the All-Star game. 3 players voted in, and 2 pitchers, Scherzer and Strasburg.
I saw something last night. It was a fireworks show here, and Bryce took a picture of himself watching the fireworks show. Might be the first ball player I've ever seen watch a fireworks show. Usually, most of them get in their car and get out of Dodge.
Especially with an 11 a.m. game the next day. Harper lines one into right field for a base hit. Defoe will go first to third. It gets by Bruce, and Defoe will come on home. Harper heading for third. The relay by Cabrera. Harper slides in safely, and the Nationals lead 3-2. Harper with a single. The error by Bruce brings home Defoe and allows Harper to go all the way to third.
Well, we haven't seen very many misplays by the outfield, but a big one here by Bruce. Good hitting on the curveball by Bryce Harper, and I think that Bruce was thinking of maybe taking a shot at Defoe going first to third. You see his head. He picked it up, and it went underneath his glove. Defoe got a good jump and was pushing the envelope. Bruce wanted to throw him out, but it never came up with the ball.
So the last man standing among the Mets' 5 outfielders makes the error that puts the Nationals in front. And now Murphy and the Mets have the infield back, figuring that they'll be able to score some runs. Just trying to stay out of the big inning. Murphy leans back, ball 1.
And Harper, once you realize, had a big turn at second base, put the head first slide to the outside part of the bag. First pitch by Lugo stood Murphy up. See what he counters with here.
Murph lined one to left center for a base hit to bring in a run his last time up. And the curveball hit down to third. Flores took a step the wrong way, and it goes off his glove, and that'll bring Harper in. And it's 4-2 Washington. Not quite like the play in Miami where he broke the wrong way, but Flores took a step to his right before going back to his left, and that cost him a chance to make that play.
Yeah, his preparation setup is not right. You see, like he kind of hopped to his right, but he never got his feet down in time. By the time he reacted, ball was by him.
So 3 straight hits plus the error, 2 runs home in the inning, and it's 4-2 Washington. Murphy's second RBI hit of the day, and now Adam Lind, who's 0 for 2, grounded out and lined out to left. And the Mets put on the full shift against Lind, daring him to bunt. And he takes a strike. Mets bullpen is still quiet, although it looks like there's some movement down there. The Nats with 8 hits now against Lugo. Now we're going to get some action out there momentarily. First, Lind lines one into right field for another base hit. Murphy stops at second. So 4 straight hits to start this bottom of the 5th.
We saw a little bit in this last start by Lugo is that when he got a little tired, the hits started to come. Murph had to freeze because in the shift you never know where the infielders are sometimes. Proper base running by the Murph.
Dan Warthen out to talk. Eric Adele up to throw. And Seth Lugo in crisis. 2 runs home in the inning. Still nobody out.
You know, Gary, I talked about in the open yesterday, starting pitching has to kind of do its part. Cespedes has to get on a hot streak and try to carry this club. But I thought the most important is that the infield defense was going to have to get better. But as we go along here, there's a really good chance that it might not.
Well, sometimes you have to recognize the limitations of the players you have.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, this team was not built for great defense. They were built for offense. There's Rayburn, who's walked and taken a call third strike. And a half swing, and he went around. 0-1. And the other piece to that is that this team was built to have a dominating starting pitching staff that would strike people out.
That's right.
And take the infield defense more out of the equation.
Yeah, take it out of play.
It hasn't developed that way. That's lined into right center. 5 straight hits. This one will go to the gap and all the way to the wall. Murphy is in. Lind being waved home. And he will score. Now trapped between second and third is Rayburn. And Reyes puts a tag down on Rayburn for the first out of the inning. But 4 runs are home in this inning. And it's now 6-2 Washington on the 2-run double by Ryan Rayburn.
Good hitting the other way. I said it yesterday. He's got nice power and ability to hit the ball the other way and splits the gap. Back runner is Adam Lind, who doesn't have a lot of speed. Not a strong throw from Nimmo in the outfield. But Lind keeps chugging along. And then Rayburn got caught in a strange place. He was trying to take the extra base. And the tag happened right on his ankle or foot just before he touched the bag.
And the Nats will not challenge the call. 8-4-5-6 the play on Rayburn. And that's the first out of the inning after 5 straight hits against Seth Lugo. And now Stephen Drew, who doubled his last time up.
What's the tag at second base? Reyes just gets it on his ankle before his hand touches the base. Very close, though.
Danny DeMuth about as close as you can possibly be to make that call. And got it right. At least right enough that the Nats didn't challenge. And now Drew flies one out to right, and Bruce is there to grab it, and that's the second out. So Lugo trying to stop the bleeding. But the tourniquet coming a little too late. 4 runs already home in the inning. So 2 out and nobody on, and now the seemingly unstoppable Jose Lobaton, who has singled and walked today. Well, it has been a consistent theme for the Nats that they score a lot of runs when Joe Ross pitches.
That's right.
And today they've got 6 runs on the board, and Ross has already gone the requisite 5 innings. He's on deck now. But the Nats have scored in double figures 6 times. Think about that. 11 starts coming into the game. 6 of the 11 they've scored in double figures for Ross, but he's only won 3 of the 6. Hit sharply and knocked down by Cabrera. And the Mets finally get Lobaton out, and Lugo finally puts an end to the bottom of the 5th. 4-run score on 5 hits. And the Nats lead at 6-2 after 5. Fourth of July in D.C. Joe Ross now staked to a 6-2 lead. Brandon Nimmo leads off for the Mets in the 6th. And takes a strike. Nimmo's 2 for 2 today. Single to center, single to right. Curtis Granderson has come out on deck to pinch hit for Seth Lugo. And then Jose Reyes in the 6th. against Ross. Brian Goodwin now playing left field. Ryan Rayburn, after that double, comes out of the game. And good slider by Ross to get ahead 0-2. Granderson was magic off the bench last night. Late scratch from the starting lineup today. On deck to pinch hit again now. And Nimmo lines one the other way, and he has 3 base hits to all 3 fields. Center, right, and now left. So the Mets get the leadoff man on in the 6th.
Well, a lot of fight in Nimmo still. Sinking fastball away, just goes with it.
So Nimmo 3 for 3 out of the 8-hole. And now it's Granderson, with the Mets down to their final strike in the 9th inning last night at a 2-run pinch hit home run to keep hope alive. Something that seems to be bothering Jose Lobaton. Bent over at the waist, and home plate umpire Carlos Torres giving him a moment to compose himself.
I wonder if Nimmo caught him with the bat.
So Lobaton looks good to go. Granderson's home run last night was his 3rd career pinch hit home run in 66 career pinch hit at bats. Nimmo at first and nobody out. 3 infielders on the right side against Granderson. And Curtis flies one out to center. Right there waiting for it is Taylor. And that's the first out. Let's check in with the studio. Gary Apple has a game break brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Gary. All right, thanks, Gary. I don't know how, after he dove for the ball coming off the sidewall, that he was able to get his hand in position to throw that ball.
Like he contorted his body in such a way to get enough on that throw.
Reyes drives one to right, but right at Harper. And that's the 2nd out. So Jose, who began the day with a leadoff home run, it's another ball hard, but this one right to Harper.
Also with 2nd and 3rd, hit a bullet to center field in the 2nd AB, and another bullet here. You know, that Pedroia play, I heard Pedroia afterwards, and it was a good lesson. As you see Josh Edgin and Eric Goodell in the bullpen for the Mets. He said in 11 years of playing, he's only had 3 balls that he had to make a play on when he backed up first base. First 2 resulted in nothing, and finally after 11 years he gets a guy up first. Attention to detail, doing this same thing over and over just in case.
Here's Cabrera, who's 0 for 2 and a walk. And it's popped up shallow left. Who's going to get it? Defoe with the angle. Goodwin coming in, and Goodwin makes the catch and avoids any kind of contact, and that retires the side. Nimmo leadoff. nation's capital.
20 years later, Jenny's still looking for Forrest.
Eric Goodell will pitch the bottom of the 6th for the Mets.
Well, the Mets have any chance in this game. Goodell and others are going to have to hold the Nationals here.
Joe Ross will stay in after that quick inning. Ross looked like he was not going to be long for this game with a high pitch count, but just got the last 3 outs on 4 pitches, so they'll run him out there for another go round. And why not? I mean, if you're Dusty Baker, you've got to push your starters as hard as you can with all the misery that bullpen has visited on the Nationals this year. Ross has been up twice, struck out both times, both of them in bunting situations, but was allowed to swing away. And Goodell gets ahead of him 1-2. Eric's last outing against the Phillies, he got whacked around a little bit. Retired his first 3 hitters, but then a walk, a stolen base, a double, a single, hitting the ball off his leg.
Ross is looking for more support today. This is paltry run scoring by the Nationals. He's had games this year where they've scored his starts 14, 15, 23. That was against the Mets. 2 10s and an 18 in his starts.
Stays alive with a foul ball. Well, the 23-5 game, he couldn't get the requisite 5 innings to qualify for the win.
That's right.
I mean, think about that. Your team scores you 23 runs as a starter, and you can't get the W.
Got to get the W in that game. Have to.
Michael Taylor on deck, then Wilmer Defoe for the Nationals. Ross stays alive. Seth Lugo went 5 innings, allowed 6 runs, 10 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. So his streak of 6 consecutive road starts, 1, comes to an end. He will settle for a tie for the club record for that mark with Seaver and Kuzman. Seaver, Kuzman, Lugo. Full count to Ross.
I mean, I've heard Seaver, Kuzman, Gooden. Lugo, though, is part of that.
Anytime you're on a list with Seaver and Kuzman, it's good company.
Patting yourself on the back.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at bat, and Ross hits another foul ball. You come into a game as a relief pitcher, you see that the pitcher is up first against you, you figure, okay, get that one out of the way easily, we'll go to work on the top of the batting order. Well, no. 9 pitches deep, and Goodell still working on Joe Ross. And finally gets him with a fastball for the first out. SNY play ball, and the New York Jets are looking to help local football leagues in need with grants, equipment donations, clinics, and special Jets experiences. Does your league need assistance? Apply today at sny.tv/playball.
So is that 2 consecutive outings that Eric Goodell has come in to face the pitcher? Didn't he replace Wheeler in that game and had to face the pitcher? Pavetta?
Well, that's worse because coming in the middle of an inning.
That's right.
And taking a pitcher out with the pitcher coming up.
But how many times does a reliever come in the first batter he faced twice in a row as a starting pitcher? Not often.
It means you're coming in relatively early in games.
It's not a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing for anybody concerned.
Not the whole
for the starting pitcher, for the relief pitcher,
for the team.
Yeah. Michael Taylor is 1 for 3 today. He had a bunt hit in the 3rd inning when the Nats scored 2 runs to take their first lead. Nats then tied it on Rene Rivera's home run in the 4th. But the Nats put together 5 hits to score 4 runs against Seth Lugo in the 5th inning. Taylor last time up batted with 2 men on, and Lugo made a nice play to throw him out. 2 balls and a strike.
Hey Gary, that's why last night could have been a signature kind of game for the Mets to propel them through the break, you know, kind of game, get them going, and just ended up being a heartbreaking loss, and haven't had much better here today.
Two, 3-2 to Taylor. Wilmer Difo on deck. And he walked him. Well, with a 3-2 splitter. And Taylor's aboard with a 1-out walk. Josh Edgen staying busy with Bryce Harper and Daniel Murphy behind Difo. Defoe's 1 for 3 today. Got that big 5th inning started for the Nationals with a single to center. Then he scored all the way from first base when Harper singled to right and the ball got by Jay Bruce. That was the go-ahead run. Taylor has 9 steals in 12 tries. So you know it was 32 years ago today when the only cycle on July 4th in Major League history was accomplished.
That's right. I was there.
Well, you weren't really there until the next day.
That's right. That's right. I was there. I was on the bench. I was rooting hard.
Of course, that was July 4th to 5th, 1985, when the Mets and Braves played their historic 19-inning game in Atlanta. Keith hit for the cycle. Ronnie finished the game off just before 4 in the morning.
And here we are starting a game at 11 a.m.
Yeah, if this one goes to tomorrow, we're all in big trouble. And here they shut off the fireworks last night. Not after the game at 4 in the morning, as they did in Atlanta.
I mean, it really was a war of the worlds moment for the Atlanta people. Many of them called the police and said what was going on. Were they being under attack? No, just the fireworks after a game. Sorry, folks.
Did Davey stay for the end of the game? Because he got ejected in the 17th inning.
That's an interesting question, because Davey's one of the few managers that you'd have to ask that question about, whether he stayed or not.
I'm assuming he did.
He did.
But you know, you get ejected from the game at 3 in the morning. You never know what might happen. There goes Taylor. The throw by Rivera. A little too late, and Taylor able to stay on the bag for his 10th stolen base of the year.
Well, the Nationals have plenty of energy here on this early start. Taylor, big lead, huge jump, looks in, and still steals it easily. You know, he's really showing what kind of talent he has. Maybe showing you that he has the ability to put it together back-to-back games and months.
There's ball 4, and Defoe's on with a walk. So back-to-back walks issued by Goodell, and that'll be the end of his tenure in this game. With Harper and Murphy coming up, Josh Edgen will be coming in.
More walks by the Mets bullpen.
That was their downfall last night. Blevins a walk in front of Taylor's home run. Edgen and Sewald each walking a batter in the 9th. Now Edgen will come in for another crack at it. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon. We'll be right back to DC. to face Bryce Harper. Edgin came in last night. First man he faced in the 9th inning with the winning run at first base was Stephen Drew, and he walked Drew on 4 pitches, which set the stage for the Nats' walk-off win. Taylor at second, Defoe at first with 1 out. Harper is 2 for 3 today. He's singled twice. He's driven in a run. He's scored a run. Harper had a blue pit to center to bring in the first run of the day for the Nats, and then with the game tied 2-2 in the 5th, he singled to right, and when the ball got by Jay Bruce, the go-ahead run scored. And fastball from Edgin for a strike. Terry Collins talked about it after the game last night. The bullpen walks, which have become something of an epidemic for this team. I mean, when you look at that as a whole, is that a lack of confidence in their stuff, an inability to throw the ball where they want to?
I think it's a combination of all those things, Gary. I think that you have a bullpen that is not a wipeout, strikeout bullpen, so they've got to be very precise, and when they're not, they get hit around, and that sometimes makes you want to throw balls out of the strike zone or be very perfect.
2-1 to Harper.
But you ask any manager that it's ever managed, they always say the same thing. When you bring in a reliever and he walks the first hitter or walks some hitters, you've thought about bringing him in for what, an inning and a half, or inning and a third, and when you do bring him in and he walks a hitter, it changes the whole game around.
Well, Edgin immediately falls behind Harper, 3-1.
Another late time there.
Edgin faced Harper in a huge spot earlier this season here in Washington, and got him to hit a comebacker into a double play. In fact, Harper's just 2 for 13 against Edgin, so Josh has had an advantage against the Nats star right fielder. But here he walks him to load the bases, and Edgin, who walked his first batter last night, walks his first batter today.
I mean, you could see the reaction from Harper. 3-1 count. He knows he's going to get something over the plate. He almost got hit by the pitch because he couldn't believe how far off the plate it was.
Well, now Murphy gets a chance to blow the doors off this game. 3 straight walks from the Met bullpen, 2 by Goodell and now 1 by Edgin. Puts Murphy in the catbird seat. Bases loaded, 1 out. Murph's already had 2 RBI hits in this game. Taylor, Defoe, and Harper can all run. They're on base with 1 out. And a strike call on a cutter, 0-1. With the bases loaded, he's Tabler-esque.
Yes, he is.
Not to be confused with Toblerone. And Edgin gets ahead of him 0-2. Murph already has a grand slam against the Mets this year. Came in the first inning, if I recall correctly. 0-2 from Edgin, and he comes inside with the fastball. 1-2. Adam Lind, the on-deck batter. Full house here in D.C. It's quite a day of activities in our nation's capital. Baseball in the morning, fireworks at night, lots of entertainment, and blocked off streets in between. Try to get around in this town today. Leave some extra time.
Yeah, it only took us an hour and a half to go 3 miles. Not a big deal.
Murphy lines one into right field for a base hit. Taylor is in. Defoe right behind him. Harper will go to third. It's a 3-hit, 4 RBI day for Daniel Murphy. And the Nats have broken it open. It's now 8-2. Walks will kill you.
Yeah. 2 of the walks score here. Nice hitting by Murph. Down and in. Pulls it through that hole. Harper first to third. Kind of a lazy slider here from Josh Edgin. And Murphy was all over it.
Joe Murph, after failing to get on base last night in his only plate appearance, has made up for it today. 31 games against the Mets. He's reached base in 30 of them. 3 hits and 4 RBIs today. And still plenty of mess for Edgin to deal with as Adam Lind steps in. Lind had a base hit and scored a run in the 5th, 1 for 3, and he nubs one off the end of the bat. Reyes comes in. His only play is to first. A run comes home. Lind is out at first as Harper scores to make it 9-2 Washington. It was strangely hit right off the end of the bat by Lind. So 3 runs home in the inning. The first 2 charged to Goodell. The last one to Edgin.
All the walks have scored.
And now Brian Goodwin comes up for the first time. Goodwin came in to replace Ryan Rayburn in left field after Rayburn's 2-run double in the 5th. Goodwin started last night, went 1 for 3. Murphy at second and 2 out, and Edgin nearly hits Goodwin in the hip. Ball 1. Neil Ramirez is up now in the Mets bullpen. It's hard to say which is the more beleaguered bunch at this point. The Mets bullpen or the Nats bullpen. I mean, the Nats bullpen has had more late inning meltdowns, but the Mets bullpen right now in a real consistent pattern of walks and hits and allowing small leads for other teams to become bigger leads. And making it that much more difficult to get over the hump.
Well, I don't know if they're asking too much of the relievers. If you watch Edgin, they were trying to spot fastballs to Harper in and out with the breaking ball, or if the relievers are going to have to simplify it a little bit. Pick one part of the plate to throw a strike with your fastball and then go to the breaking ball, because they haven't been able to execute all quadrants of the zone yet.
Of course, part of the Mets' failures in their bullpen is the tumble-down effect of losing your best reliever for most of the year. Jerry's Familia first suspended and then injured. And then also the spectacular implosion by Hansel Robles, a guy they were counting on this year, who just imploded. Goodwin strikes out to end the inning. But it's a 3-run 6th for the Nats, and they lead it 9-2. On this Independence Day, USAA honors those who have served and all of our service members at home and abroad. score. Mets have gotten solo home runs from Jose Reyes and Rene Rivera, but far too little against the Nationals attack that has produced 9 runs and 11 hits. Jay Bruce leads off in the 7th inning against Joe Ross, who's still out there chucking. And a fastball in for a strike. Bruce 0 for 3 today. Last one took Harper back to the wall in right field. Harper also made a sliding catch to rob Bruce, but the upshot is that Bruce is now 0 for his last 18. And getting more frustrated by the at bat.
Well, if you had your full complement of players, a guy like Jay Bruce might have got this morning off, but he's got to play now.
Jay yanks one foul down behind Tom Goodwin, 1-2. And give Joe Ross a lot of credit. He was in a lot of trouble early in this game, but got key outs when he had to. Mets have left an army out on the bases. 9 left on in the first 6 innings. And Ross stayed around long enough for his offense to do what it normally does when he's on the mound, and that's score a lot of runs. Bruce strikes out. Strikeout number 5 for Ross. 1 out in the 7th.
You know, he throws so much across his body, and his slider doesn't go as much down as it just starts in and runs in on the hands for that strikeout.
So 1 out and nobody on, and now today's cleanup hitter, T.J. Rivera. Second time in his career, first time this year that T.J. has hit cleanup in the majors. He's gone 2 for 3. 6-game hitting streak now for TJ, and he's hitting .450 over those 6 games. But not the guy you profile as your number 4 hitter, and it really speaks to the absences in the Mets lineup right now, with Cespedes out of the lineup today and Granderson as well.
And then he's playing left field also to go along with that cleanup hitting role.
First time in his career he started a game in the outfield, and he's handled his only chance, and it was not an easy one.
No, he took a beautiful route to rob Adam Lind, I believe, of a line drive hit.
Lucas Duda waiting on deck. Well, Ross about to throw his 103rd pitch, which will match his season high. So the Nats have the bullpen cranking.
This would be a good teachable moment, in my opinion. I know he's only thrown 103. Finish off the 7th inning. We got a big lead. Let's see. It's a good way to push your young pitchers outside of their comfort box, comfort zone.
So Matt Grace and Blake Trinan warming up in the Nationals bullpen. Ross, who spent some time in the minor leagues back in May after that 23-5 game where he didn't get the win. They sent him down for 3 weeks. And as you noted earlier, he's kind of kicked it in gear these last 3 starts, pitched to a 2.29 ERA, and despite giving up a couple of solo home runs today and having a lot of traffic to deal with, he certainly has done his job today.
There's Neil Ramirez in the bullpen. He's kind of in the same boat as Michael Taylor. It's like a great talent. It's time to kick it in gear a little bit and take charge of your own career.
TJ lines one. Great stop by Defoe, up and firing in time. A bullet, and Defoe somehow was able to snag that on the backhand. A terrific play to rob TJ Rivera of a 3rd hit.
You know, they've had a couple of real good plays by the defense for the Nationals that have helped Ross on his way. Oh, what a play that is.
Well, they're missing their shortstop, Trey Turner, who's going to be out for a while after suffering a broken wrist. Last night we saw Adrian Sanchez start his first game in the majors at short. They'll use Stephen Drew there, and now Defoe. So they're using a patchwork, and so far They're not going to replicate the offense that Turner gives them, but defensively they're holding their own.
Rivera's had 3 hits in this series and 2 robbed of a hit. Rendon yesterday, that great throw from the outfield grass, and then Defoe right there.
Well, TJ is a line drive machine. I mean, we've said that before, and he certainly keeps on proving that out. Dude is 1 for 3 at a base hit his last time up.
Well, watch Rivera running down to first. He looks like he's got a bad wheel.
Who's next on the depth chart in left field? I guess Matt Reynolds. Duda slugs one foul down the line. I mean, can you imagine this? Every outfielder the Mets have, other than Jay Bruce, is hurt, and TJ Rivera, filling in for the first time, might have just hurt himself as well.
It would be the 5th player this year you lost on running from home to first, if that's the case.
Walker, Gazelman, Cespedes.
There's one more.
2-2 to Duda. Two. And Lucas gets ahead of that one. Joe Ross, pitch number 112 upcoming. Full count to Duda. Wilmer Flores would be next. You have to figure this is Ross's last hitter either way. Either he finishes the inning or they'll bring somebody else in to face Flores. Seventh pitch of the at bat coming to Duda. And Lucas keeps it going.
Change up.
24-year-old Joe Ross, 19 starts last year, making his 12th start this year, and pitching as deep as he ever has. And he gets Duda on the foul tip to end the inning. So it took him 114 pitches, but Ross makes his way through 7 innings. On this 4th of July, let's keep it here for God Bless America.
Today we celebrate the independence of our nation. And as part of that celebration, here to perform God Bless America, Technical Sergeant Ashley Keeks of the United States Air Force Band singing Sergeants.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless sweet
Rivera, the latest Met to injure himself running to first base, and he's out of the game, and Matt Reynolds is now playing left field. Neil Ramirez on the mound. Stephen Drew leads off in the home seventh.
Matt Reynolds replaces the guy that made his first start in left field. Reynolds only has one start in left field, and this is his fourth game, Gary?
Third game. Yeah.
Third game. Neil Ramirez has looked much better of late.
And more aggressive with his fastball lately. Drew is 1 for 3, a double, and he takes breaking ball, low and in ball 1. So the ledger on Mets outfielders now: Lagares out, broken thumb. Conforto out, bruised hand. Cespedes sitting today, hamstring cramp. Granderson pinch hit today, but couldn't start because of the hip. He was scratched 10 minutes before the game. TJ Rivera starts the game in the outfield for the first time, gets a couple of hits, then he gets hurt running to first base, and now Matt Reynolds is playing in the outfield. The same day TJ Rivera played in the outfield.
I know
it's almost, it would almost be macabre if it wasn't so,
very good word,
if it wasn't so debilitating to this team. You could almost look at it from a surreal perspective, the number of injuries this team continues to face. And as Drew goes down swinging for the first out. I mean, you know, the pitchers who are on the DL, in and of themselves form a group of players who could help carry this team. That, you know, you're missing your best starter, you're missing your best reliever, out for the long term. But now this rash of injuries to outfielders just adds to this layer of craziness that has surrounded this team all year.
You know, Gary, what's interesting to me is that rash is a good word also. It seems as though certain parts of your team, certain fraternities of your team, go down at once, and then it hits another part of the ball club, and now it's hit the outfielders. And in no way is that an excuse for a 7-run deficit here. You've left 9 people on base. Your only 2 runs have come on 2 swings, Reyes and Rivera.
Well, it's kind of this game a microcosm as Cabrera makes a beautiful leaping grab for the second out. It's a microcosm, this game, of the season in terms of how you assess it.
Yes.
Right? I mean, the Mets are 38 and 44 and far behind in this game. Now, part of that is on merit because they haven't played very well. But they at least get something of an asterisk because of all the pieces that they're missing. Right. You watch Cabrera make that fine leaping grab. So it's hard to know how to assess it, right? Do you assess it based on the guys who have played, many of whom would not have been playing if everybody was healthy? Or do you just say, well, that's the breaks and, you know, they've underperformed what they should have?
It's very difficult. Mike Trout goes out and the Angels have been better since he's been out of the lineup, which is hard to figure.
By the way, Joe Ross is taking another turn at bat, which I guess means
the bench.
Yeah, just he wants to rest the guys that he's resting.
How many times you got a chance at the golden sombrero and a win on the same day?
Well, he wouldn't have had a chance if they'd asked him to bunt in bunting situations, but they let him swing and he's struck out 3 times and he could be on the verge of another. But he's obviously done as far as his pitching is concerned at 114 pitches. Ramirez really letting his fastball go. It's been a nice thing to see.
Well, he was beat up pretty bad before he came to the Mets, and you know, I think he was trying to be a little too fine, really mostly breaking balls when he first came over like that, but he's using both now.
So Ross does get the golden sombrero. Ramirez gets a 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts. We go to the 8th, 9-2 Washington. Not home, no problem. Watch every SNY Mets game wherever you are on any device all season long with live streaming presented by Verizon. Just download the NBC Sports app or visit SNY.TV, your home for live streaming coverage of every SNY Mets game. Today's starters brought to you by People's United Bank. Seth Lugo got strafed for 6 runs and 10 hits over 5 innings. Joe Ross persevered through 7. And he is in line for the victory. 9-2 Washington as we go to the 8th, and Blake Trinan will take over the pitching.
Well, Trinan, when they came out of spring training, was the closer for this ball club, but you can see his inflated numbers The league is hitting .329 off him. He's given up 47 hits and 35 in the third innings pitched. Sinker ball, slider, great stuff. Hasn't figured it out yet.
Pitching now in a lower leverage situation. Wilmer Flores leads off the 8th inning for New York and takes a fastball for a strike. Wilmer is 0 for 2 and a walk today on a day he was not supposed to start, but a late addition to the lineup when Curtis Granderson was scratched. Joe Ross went 7, allowed 2 runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. The Mets have stranded 9 runners today. Only 2 runs coming on solo home runs, so the Mets have had ample other opportunities to score, but have not been able to cash in. And it's poked the other way, and Flores rolls one through the hole for a leadoff hit.
Fastball down, away, and Wilmer just drives it through a hole like he always does, but teams love to play the second baseman up the middle against Flores. Can't figure it out.
So the Mets had their 9th hit of the afternoon. Well, some of them came this morning.
That's right.
But mostly in the afternoon.
It was a better game in the morning.
Well, it went very quickly. The morning part of the game. I mean, Reyes led off the game at 11:07 a.m. with a home run.
There you go.
Lugo got through the first 2 innings on 17 pitches. And that was, for the Mets, that was the better portion of the game, the morning part. Rene Rivera initiated the afternoon with a home run in the 4th inning to tie the game at 2. And since then it's been all downhill as far as the Mets are concerned. Lost another player to injury as TJ Rivera appeared to hurt his leg running to first base. And both Seth Lugo and the bullpen have been battered around by Daniel Murphy and company. 4 more RBIs for Murph today. And a double play ball. Defoe to Murphy and on to first. 6-4-3, 2 out.
At his best, that's what Blake Trinan should be. Contact pitcher, ground ball pitcher.
So 2 out and nobody on, and this has been the brightest spot of the day for the Mets. Brandon Nimmo 3 for 3, single to center, single to right, single to left. Well, it's left to hit the ball over the fence. He's distributed the ball everywhere else.
Trying to think who's having the best year in the outfield for the 51s. Blake.
Well, Travis Tyrone is having, is having his normal year, but he's not on the roster, so you'd have to create space on the 40-man. The only outfielder who's on the 40-man is Wilmer Becerra, but he's an A-ball. So they've got an issue if they want to promote an outfielder. Now, hopefully by tomorrow, both Cespedes and Granderson will be able to play. And if that's the case, then that relieves a little bit of the pressure. But with those 2 out of the lineup, it certainly creates some difficulty in finding 3 outfielders to play. And you do need 3. You don't have to have 3 according to the rules. You could play with no outfielders and just put 7 guys on the infield.
Sounds like when I was pitching for the '91 Mets.
Well, I'm thinking that if you have sinker ball pitchers and 7 infielders, maybe that'll play.
There you go. And, it doesn't get any easier. I know that Tanner Roark has been hit hard his last few starts. He's starting tomorrow, but the Cardinals are starting to play a little better and hit a little better.
Right, and the Mets have to face Carlos Martinez Friday night. Well, the saving grace for the Mets is the guy they have on the mound tomorrow night, because Jacob deGrom has been otherworldly over his last 4 starts.
They can account for his game and Matz's game. The other 3 games are a little up in the air.
3-1 to Nimmo. And he takes a strike. 3-2. Matt Reynolds is sitting 9th in the order after coming in the double switch last inning. He's on deck if Nimmo can keep the inning going. Three-2 from Trinan, and he whacks one down the left field line, slicing away. Foul. Nimmo's now had 19 major league at bats this season, 7 hits. That's a .368 average.
He hasn't had a 4-hit game, right?
I certainly don't think so.
No.
He hasn't had that many starts. He had never had more than 2 hits before today. Now he has 3. And now he has a strikeout to end the inning. Blake Trinan sets the Mets down in the top of the 8th. 9-2 Washington. As far as that middle item is concerned, I think illegal is taking it too far, just frowned upon.
I know one of our guys on our group of folks here should never put a ketchup on anything.
Well, because he's allergic to it, but he eats it anyway.
He loves it.
Yeah.
I can say it because he's, he's away.
Michael Taylor leading off in the home 8th against Neil Ramirez, who worked a 1-2-3 7th. And he misses with the curveball, 1-1. Taylor a bunt single and a walk. He's stolen a base. He scored 2 runs today. That scored 4 in the 5th and 3 in the 6th to break open a tight game. And barring an enormous comeback by the Mets in the 9th, the Nats will have won 9 of 12 from the Mets this season and will be 11.5 games clear of the Mets as we have now pushed past the halfway point of the year. Mets entered this series with an opportunity to at least make themselves relevant in the National League East race, but it's gone the other way.
You know, Gary, I played on mostly good teams when I in my career. Very lucky. Maybe a couple marginal teams. And the good teams you never have to worry about going into the break, but the marginal teams you have to worry about because people start looking forward to those few days off, unless you're an all-star. That's the worst thing you can do.
Well, the problem is the more games the Mets fall behind right now, the more people look ahead not just to the All-Star break, but what happens after the All-Star break, which is the days leading up to the trading deadline. And especially on a team that has so many free agents, that becomes a huge distraction. Rolled out to Reyes, and he guns down Taylor for the first out. And you think about all the potential trade pieces that the Mets have if they were to decide to sell, whether it's Duda or Reed or Blevins or Bruce or Cabrera or Reyes. I mean, all these guys are free agents at the end of the year. I may have even missed somebody.
Walker maybe, but he might not be back in time, right?
But you can trade a guy if he's on the DL.
That's right.
So I'm just saying that, you know, you're talking about guys being distracted because of the days off coming up, and I think there's also a piece where there's the potential distraction of, you know, 3 weeks from now some of these guys may not be Mets anymore.
Who's here and who's not here.
It's going to be interesting, though, if this team does decide to start shedding pieces. With all the injuries they have, they are really going to have to bring back some major league ready pieces, because otherwise they won't have enough players to field the team. I mean, we just talked about the outfield depth in the organization on the 40-man roster. You've got Wilmer, Becerra, and A-Ball, and nobody else. So, you know, if you were to trade a Jay Bruce, and, you know, Lagares is still hurt, and
get A-Ball players,
you have to have players to fill out your 25-man roster for the rest of the year. 1 and 2. So that just complicates things because of all the injuries the Mets have had. Now they'll get Conforto back this weekend, or they should, and hopefully Cespedes and Granderson will be able to play in the next couple of days. But the situation is becoming more complicated by the day. 1-2 to Defoe, and he lays off. 2-2.
You know, Gary, the most complicated thing to me is the NL West, because they've almost taken the wild card out of play in some ways, because those teams have been so good and they're at least 15 games or more over 500. That's a long way to come to try to get into the wild card. So now you look at your own division, and with each succeeding loss against the Nationals, that seems less and less a chance to do that.
Defoe rolls one through the hole for his second hit of the day. Well, it looked a few days ago as though the Rockies were coming back to the pack, and if you want to look at it from an optimistic point of view from the Mets perspective, they do get to play the Rockies right out of the break.
That's right.
They've got a series at home against Colorado, and then the following road trip they go to Colorado. So if they were at least able to stay in contact with the Rockies, they could do some damage head to head.
Especially because the Rockies have a lot of young pitching. They have to play against those two tough teams, the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Yeah, it's an interesting thing as you look forward. One of the themes really that I've noticed with this team, and maybe it's because I don't do every game, is that there seems to be 2 or 3 games where you go, okay, back. Everything's good. You know, play some good baseball now from now on. And then a series will come along and you're on your heels again. That seems to have been kind of how the team has gone this year so far.
That one gets past Rivera, and down to second base goes Defoe.
Again, lending itself to having a hard time evaluating where this team's at.
Here's the thing about those stretches is that it's a wild pitch charge to Ramirez. is that, you know, when you have a home run oriented offense, which is what the Mets have, your offense is going to wax and wane. You're not going to have that every day. Offense tends to be a little more mercurial. That's hit down to first, off the glove of a diving Duda, backed up by Cabrera, but then it sneaks behind him. Defoe breaks for the plate, and he will score. Well, Duda made a valiant effort. Cabrera appeared to have backed it up properly, but it snuck behind him, and Defoe, with good base running, comes all the way home to make it 10-2.
Well, good try by Duda. Like you said, Cabrera was in position, but once he didn't field it properly or cleanly, Defoe with that speed able to take advantage. So a fill-in day at shortstop for Defoe, a couple of hits and 3 runs scored.
And Harper will get credit for his 3rd hit and 2nd RBI of the day. Pitching change for the Mets. We'll be right back. Two outs here in the 8th.
Yeah, roughed up in his last outing against the Phillies.
He'll face Daniel Murphy, who already has 3 hits and 4 RBIs today. Harper at first with 1 out, and he takes a strike. Just to complete the thought of what we were talking about before, you know, about offense being a little more mercurial, especially when you relied on the home run ball. What this team was supposed to be was a team that was going to have dominant starting pitching every day. And when they have dominant starting pitching, like they did last night, they put themselves in a position to win. The problem is that the most consistent part of any team is their defense, for better or for worse.
That's right, good or bad.
And for this team, their defense all year has let them down. And that's not really going to change on a day-to-day basis unless you change personnel.
So when DeGrom pitches and he strikes out 12, it conceals some of that.
Driven to the gap in right center. Murphy's got himself another hit. Harper races for 3rd. He's going to be waved around. Murphy has his 4th hit and his 5th RBI of the day to put the icing on the cake for the Nationals. It's now 11-2.
Murphy has now reached the 60 RBI plateau with these 5 ribbies. Another slider down and in. I don't know how many I've seen against the Murph. Alert, he doesn't miss those pitches.
And now Murph will come out for a pinch runner. bring in Adrian Sanchez to run for Murphy. By the way, did you notice Adrian Sanchez, 11 years in the minor leagues, he gets a number 5. That's pretty good.
It's a big league number.
After 11 years in the minor leagues, you might expect number 83 or something of that ilk.
I'm sure Davey's very upset at that.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it in those terms. Here's Adam Lind.
Well, if a guy's been in the minors 11 years, he deserves a little break, right?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
It speaks to the legacy of this team, which only stretches back to 2005, because the numbers that were retired, that's grounded down to Flores, and he'll throw out Lind for the second out. The numbers that were retired by the Expos did not carry over to the Nationals, so they haven't had as many numbers taken out of commission as a more mature franchise.
There you go. Very nicely put, by the way. Have you run for office here with those kind of speeches?
I don't think discretion is necessary anymore, is it? 2 out, and now Brian Goodwin will come up for the second time. He struck out his first time up. Nobody has escaped today for the Mets. Lugo started 5 innings, 6 runs, 10 hits. Eric Adell, a third of an inning, 2 runs. Josh Edgen, 2/3 of an inning, 1 run. Neil Ramirez, an inning and a third, 2 runs. And now Bradford. Goodwin rolls it out to Cabrera, and that'll end the inning. And that's tack on a pair. Murphy with his 5th RBI of the day. We go to the 9th, 11-2 Washington. Well, it has been a frustrating series for the Mets so far. One got away last night, and today the Mets getting bashed and doing some bashing of their own in reaction. Not a lot of happiness on this 4th of July in that Met dugout from 11:05 a.m. on. Adrian Sanchez stays in the game at second base after pinch running, and Oliver Perez will try and close it out for the Nats.
There's all these numbers for the year of all the guys in the bullpen. There's been a couple that have some good numbers. Ollie's one of them.
Matt Reynolds up for the first time. Reynolds took over when T.J. Rivera left the game after trying to run out a ground ball and appearing to come up lame. We have not gotten a medical report on TJ. So Reynolds moved into left field. And he fouls one away, a ball and a strike. Matt hitting a .212 for the season. He had a base hit in his last at bat on Sunday, a bloop single against the Phillies. Only with that weird contortion of his right arm. How he turns the glove that way, I'm not 100% sure.
He's got to be double jointed.
I mean, there's the how and then there's the why. How does he do it and why does he do it?
Oh, he's got style. He's got a little bullfighter in him, Gary, when you watch him, right? What a style.
You thinking more Matador or Torero?
Torero.
2-2 to Reynolds with Reyes on deck. And that takes it inside, full count. Perez trying to finish it off for Joe Ross, who went 7, allowed 2 runs, 8 hits. Another double-digit game with Ross starting. 7 times in 12 starts, the Nats have scored double digits for Joe Ross.
He only had one 1-2-3 inning, his last one.
Reynolds out on strikes to start the ninth. Coming up after we're done, it's WB Mason post-game live. Gary Apple, Nelson Figueroa. Let's get a preview. All right, thanks guys, and presumably injury updates as well on the post-game show as Reyes takes a breaking ball for a strike. Need to hear updates on Cespedes and Granderson and TJ Rivera.
On and on and on.
It's like Stephen Bishop.
Did you ever notice? Yeah, very good.
Reyes led off the day with a home run. And he pops this one up in the middle of the infield. Who wants it? It's Defoe, the shortstop. 2 out.
Good game Defoe's had. Just noticing Gary Apple, he calls you Gare too. Is that from Keith, you think? Because a lot of people call you Gare now, and I think it comes from Keith. He started it.
Well, here's my question.
Okay.
Do people call Gary Apple Gare? They probably do.
No, I think they call him Gapple. I think it's his nickname sometimes.
But not on the air.
No.
When Nelson refers to him, does he say Gary?
Yeah.
Or does he say Gare?
I think he says Gary.
I don't know. We'll have to check this out.
If Keith starts a trend, that's when it kind of goes viral, you know?
You can certainly understand that. Although I haven't seen many people around wearing shorts with lobsters on them. Maybe the general public is not aware of Keith's proclivity for summer fashion.
Just tell him to take a picture today. I'm sure there's plenty.
There you go. Put it out on our Instagram account, and all of a sudden, sales of lobster shorts will take off. 2-0 to Cabrera.
Sorry, Keith. We're getting silly. We're running out of stuff.
It's all right. If we were reading his tweets on the air, his texts, I should say, then we'd really be getting silly. That's line into left field by Cabrera, and that'll keep the Mets alive. As Dribble has his first hit of the day. That snaps an 0-for-9 stretch for Cabrera.
Double figures in hits now for the Mets, but they've left 9 runners on. Haven't been able to come up with the big hit. 2 big swings from Reyes and Rivera.
And now a guy who could really use a hit. Bruce is 0-for-4 today and 0 for his last 19, which matches the longest hitless streak of his career. And he takes a strike. He had an 0-for-19 stretch last year. He was 0 for his last 9 with the Reds and 0 for his first 10 with the Mets. And slider misses inside from Ollie. 1-1. Pitcher's spot is due up next. Travis d'Arnaud is out on deck. It's the last healthy body available. That's driven to center field. Racing back is Taylor near the wall. It's out of here. Well, that snaps the 0 for 19 for Bruce. A 2-run homer, his 21st home run of the year. So the Mets hit their 3rd home run of the day as Bruce snaps the long 0-fer. It's now 11-4 Washington.
Well, you're hoping this one bright spot for Jay in the 9th inning propels him to a hot last 4 games for the Mets. That was a bullet out of here.
So perhaps a sign of better times ahead for Bruce. Now Travis d'Arnaud will pinch hit. Here's your Jeep pitch cast on the home run.
Just fastball right down the middle, 94 miles an hour, flat.
94 in, a lot harder out.
That's right.
Oh, and 2 to d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud pops it up. Harper waiting for it to come down, and that'll do it. The Nats have taken the first 2 of the series. Daniel Murphy with another huge day against his old team. 4 hits and 5 RBIs. Joe Ross goes 7 innings for the win, and the Nats win this one easily, 11-4.
Well, the game was 2-2 through 4 innings with both pitchers pitching pretty well, but after that Lugo struggled. The Mets bullpen struggled. Joe Ross persevered, and like you said, Gary, the offense for the Nationals, with many of their regulars rested or hurt, still able to produce 11 runs.
Mets hit 3 home runs, but it was not nearly enough on this day, as the Nationals have now pushed the Mets 11.5 games back in the National League East as they overwhelm the Mets today.